Alright, hey guys, this is Tatu Seppälä. I am a security MVP in the Purview category, and I'd like to give you a few tips about Endpoint DLP and generally DLP solution design, how you can help with advanced hunting. Alright, here we go. So, as a security architect, I have to design a lot of Endpoint DLP solutions, and the problem there, fitting them into real enterprise use is always granularity, you know. So you can't just blanket block everything, all the risky endpoint exfiltration activities like copying the USB drives or uploading to the cloud. You usually want to be a bit more granular. So when blocking everything doesn't work, you have real business domains, for example, cloud domains that you need to allow exfiltration to, meaning uploading to. You can't block everything, but you can't allow everything either because there's real risks out there. What do? Well, you need to essentially somehow use data to build a proper fit-for-purpose endpoint DLP solution. And the approach I take is I use audit log data from devices. To get that audit log data to use for solution design, you need to do a few things. First of all, you're going to need your Windows devices and your macOS devices somehow in Defender for Endpoint. This is just required for collecting telemetry. You can use a variety of methods like local scripts, group policy, Intune, all of these. Once you have your devices in Defender for Endpoint, that's the first step. You can then go ahead and onboard those devices to Purview. This is what we need to get the audit data we need for solution design efforts. So you want to turn on device onboarding in the Purview portal. That way, those Defender for Endpoint devices, Windows 10, Windows 11, macOS devices, end up in Purview and start bringing over new types of audit events that we're going to use in this approach for data-driven solution design. So you're going to get a bunch of new audit events once those devices are in Purview. For example, file copy to cloud events from Edge. So let's look at file uploaded to cloud as an example. These audit events have a bunch of interesting metadata, like for example the target URL files are being uploaded to. We're going to look at them in more detail in a second, but we're going to use this audit data for our approach. To get access to query this audit data, we're going to want to do one more thing. We're going to want to use Defender for Cloud Apps. See, Defender for Cloud Apps can actually pull those audit events from the so-called unified audit log into a place where we can query them easily in real time. To make this happen, you want to go to the Defender portal, to settings, to cloud apps, and find the app connectors pane and look at the Microsoft 365 connector. You're going to want to turn on the Microsoft 365 activities ingestion. This brings over the unified audit log to Defender for Cloud Apps, which then lets us query it using a tool called Advanced Hunting. Now, this is a threat hunter's tool, but it can be used for other things as well. For example, looking at audit events for solution design. So we're going to look at this in more detail. There's a table called Cloud App Events. You can see it here. This audit Advanced Hunting tool requires you to use a language called KQL, Custom Query Language, to look at logs. So you can write all kinds of queries here. I'm going to give you a few. You can take screenshots or look at the recording if there's one available and use these queries. But for example, you can query for file uploaded to cloud events. You can look at certain attributes in those events, build a report essentially. You can summarize file uploaded to cloud events based on the target domain without looking at individual user activity. This is very useful from a privacy point of view, giving you something like usable report that's not too invasive. So I'm just going to pause here so you can grab the query. This is a query I use for solution design to build a report. Now notice that in a normal situation you only have like 30 days of visibility unless you 30 days of visibility back in time unless you've actually connected your Defender XDR with your Sentinel workspace. If you have connected your Defender XDR with your Sentinel workspace, you're actually able to query back far longer, potentially, if you have a longer interactive retention period for the Cloud App Events table. That's where, in Sentinel, because that's where the logs are. But it's 30 days back otherwise, which is usually fine. So you can query for all kinds of things. In this example, I query file uploaded to Cloud Events, build a report about them using Summarize, a nice report that shows each domain and the number of times people have uploaded files to in your actual organization over the last month. So this already shows you the types of domains that people are actually uploading files to. Now you can look at that list, you can pull it out as a CSV file. And what I like to do is use the researcher agent to actually dig up risky domains. Usually real life scenarios involve hundreds of domains in enterprises at least. So you're going to want to use something like the researcher agent to raise risks and risky domains from that long list you're going to get. You don't have to do it, but I like to do this at the same time as well. Now, once you have that data at hand, you can then go to the Purview portal, to settings, and you can build under browser and domain restrictions to sensitive data, something called sensitive service domain groups. So you enter your domains from your actual data that are risky, in your opinion, that people are actually using, create a sensitive service domain group that you can then use in your actual rules to build granularity to only, for example, block sensitive data uploads to these domains that you know people are actually using. So now you're actually building granularity based on data, not guesswork. You can use the same approach for any of these endpoint DLP services, the endpoint DLP scenarios that it controls, like network file shares that people are uploading stuff to. You can even bring in other information that's available in those tables, like there's a table called identity info that contains information about the identities in your tenant and their job titles and departments. You can sort of synthesize that data with other logs like USB drive copy events. I'm going to leave an example here that you can use to build reports of USB exfiltration of sensitive data based on job role and department to ask better questions of business. Why is logistics uploading so much stuff to USB drives? Why are product managers specifically doing this, for example? So the outcome of this approach is that you can actually build data-driven endpoint DLP solutions based on your actual logs to allow what's actually authorized and being used, to block the bad stuff that's actually being used, perhaps require justification for other things, and remove the guesswork, essentially, from endpoint DLP. And this is very powerful for many other scenarios as well. So there's wealth of information out there in the logs. Just use advanced hunting to go look for it, be curious, and I hope you find success in your solution design efforts. Thank you.